Help us to see you more clearly, to love you more dearly, to follow you more nearly, day by day. Amen. Please be seated. So I'm going to try out something today that I haven't done before. We're going to try this out and see how this goes. The bad news is I'm going to preach a really long sermon. The good news, before you get up and leave, the good news is I'm going to break it into parts. So I'm going to do the first part today. The second part is going to be on Ash Wednesday. So I'll see you all on Ash Wednesday. I'm intrigued by this idea of the interplay between the Transfiguration story and the Lenten story. When we look at the Transfiguration, we can see clearly something special is happening there. Clearly, Jesus is climbing up the mountain and suddenly he's glowing, and Moses and Elijah are there, and the voice of God is speaking from the heavens. We know it's special. But clearly, from the beginning of Christianity, Christians didn't really know exactly what is happening there. There was a time in the life of the Christian church where a good number of people thought that, well, maybe Jesus was the Son of God, but it says his transfiguration that he becomes divine and God himself. But we took those Christians, we threw them out of the church. So it's not that. So what is happening there in that story? I think you can see it parallels the baptism story, right? When Jesus goes down into the Jordan River and he's baptized, the heavens open up, and you hear the voice of God saying, "This is my Son, the beloved." So this parallels that. This, as we're getting ready to go into the season of Lent, and I'm thinking about the Transfiguration, I was wondering to myself, what if this is a story about Jesus now that he's been doing his ministry? And the world around him is changing. Now that he's about to go into Jerusalem and his life is going to be changed forever, how much of the Transfiguration is about being a time where Jesus is being reminded who he is? What if it's a reaffirmation that despite the changing world and changing circumstances, that who God has said Jesus is remains constant? We see that his baptism is the beginning of his ministry, right? He's baptized and then he goes out and he starts healing and he starts teaching and he starts gathering disciples, and a lot starts changing really quickly. And it might remind us of times in our lives. Has anybody ever started a job or started a project and realized you got yourself into something that's not what you thought you expected? Right? Not what it was going to be? What about big changes that come up in our lives where, you know, you're growing up in your parents' house and then all of a sudden one day you're the parent. Life has changed. You're still you, but it's different. What if you've gone to a place in your life where maybe your mom and dad are gone? Maybe you're looking around and you realize all of a sudden you're the patriarch or the matriarch of your family. You're still you, but it's different. Or if you've gotten a new job and relocated to a new city and you're still you, but everything around you has changed. Or suddenly you've gone off to college and life is different. Or maybe your children have gone off to college and suddenly everything is different at home. Or you get married and you go from being, well, you're still you, but now you're a part of this union. It's different. Or maybe a sudden diagnosis of something. It rocked your world, but you're still you. So through all of those traumatic and dramatic changes that can happen in our lives, it's natural to maybe need a time to stop and reflect for a little while about who you are inside. What has God called you to be? Maybe what we need is a time like Jesus to go up the mountain ourselves, go through a period of self-reflection and to think, if God was speaking to me and telling me who I am, what would God say I am? If only we had a period of some real deep reflection and discernment that we could go into for say, like 40 days or so. I've got an idea. Well, this Ash Wednesday marks a 40-day period of time. From Ash Wednesday till Palm Sunday, or Ash Wednesday till Easter, depending on how you count, it's 40 days. But from the beginning of Christianity, that 40-day period has been a period of intense discernment and prayer and reflection. It used to be this was a time that people who were thinking about becoming Christian would go through 40 days of discernment and then decide, am I really called to this? Am I really called to follow Christ? It used to be sometimes that people ran afoul of the church and they got kicked out of the church. That the period of Lent for 40 days was a period of being able to be in prayerful discernment about coming back into the church. So this is a perfect period of time for us as individuals. What if part of our Lenten discipline this year is each one of us started asking, if I were to go up that mountain, who would be standing there with me, my right and my left? Who would be, the voice of God, what would God be saying, I'm calling you to be in this world? Despite all those changes that happen in the world around us, marriages and sicknesses and divorces and relocations and new jobs and old jobs and new family members, in the midst of all of that, what am I called to be? What if we spent 40 days of Lent doing that as individuals? And we're going to spend 40 days and longer doing that as a parish, as a people, too, at St. Stephen's. We're entering, just as individuals, our world around us changes. Our church, St. Stephen's, is seeing a time where our world around us is changing. We're seeing a time where a lot of those folks that were the pillars of our community in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, a lot of those folks aren't around anymore. And we have a lot of new people joining this church, being formed into young new pillars of our community, but maybe their passions are different. The world is certainly different. What if we were entering a period of intentional discernment in this land? Who is St. Stephen's called to be? We have these sharing faith dinners we're going to be doing over the course of the months of March and April. This is going to, what if one of your devotions was go to one of these dinners? Be a part of the discussion with us. Be a part of this mutual discernment as we are crafting who St. Stephen's is going to be in the 2020s and beyond. So if this season of Lent is not just a period of discernment for ourselves, but for St. Stephen's, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what that's like for us, to walk up that mountain and see who is at our side. Who are the people who are with us? What is God telling us we are? And here at St. Stephen's, as St. Stephen's climbs up that mountain, who's with us? Who's at our right and our left? And what is God saying we are? Who we are called to be? And I'm excited that Ash Wednesday we get together and hear the second half of my sermon. So stay tuned as we continue to explore together what it means to be transfigured in this Lenten season.